My name is Victoria Cardona, and today I will be talking to you about sex trafficking and the hotel industry. Human trafficking is a multi-billion-dollar industry affecting millions worldwide, and no industry or country is immune to this problem. The hotel industry has a unique role to play in the fight against human trafficking. Trafficking networks often rely on legitimate businesses, including hotels, to sustain their illegal operations and infrastructure. For example, traffickers may use hotels to house their victims while in transit or to sell their victims for services. This criminal activity presents a great risk for the safety and security of hotel businesses, as well as legitimate hotel customers. Fortunately, there are many ways in which the hotel industry can prevent and combat human trafficking. Sex trafficking is a form of modern-day slavery that exists throughout the United States and globally. Sex trafficking is a human trafficking for the purpose of sexual exploitation, including sexual slavery. The sex exploitation is based on the interaction between the traffickers selling the victim and the customers to perform sexual services. It occurs in a range of venues, including feet massage businesses, online ads, escort services in residential brothels, and on the streets and hotels and motels. Many times, traffickers take advantage of the privacy and anonymity accessible through the hospitality industry. Hotels and motels can be especially attractive locations for all forms of trafficking. However, human trafficking also occurs at sporting events, theme parks, cruise ships, and many other areas in the tourism industry. And many times, the staff are not necessarily educated and know how to recognize and report signs of trafficking. Sex traffickers use violence, threats, lies, debt bondage, and other forms of coercion to compel adults and children to engage in commercial sex acts against their will. Under U.S. federal law, any minor under the age of 18 years induced into commercial sex is a victim of sex trafficking, regardless of whether or not the trafficker used force, fraud, or coercion. The situation that sex trafficking victims face vary dramatically. Many victims become romantically involved with someone who then forces or manipulates them into prostitution. Others are lured in with false promise of a job, such as modeling or dancing. Some are forced to sell sex by their parents or other family members, and they may be involved in any trafficking situation for a few days or weeks, or many remain in the same trafficking situation for years. Victims of sex trafficking can be U.S. citizens, foreign nationals, women, men, and children. But especially vulnerable populations are frequently targeted by traffickers, including runaways and homeless youth. Countless thousands of victims lack protection from exploitation. Someone has to be held responsible for this. Since 2007, the National Human Trafficking Hotline has received reports of 22,000 sex trafficking cases in the United States. In 2016, the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children estimated that 1 in 6 endangered runaways reported to them were likely sex trafficking victims. Globally, the International Labour Organization estimates that there are 4.5 million people trapped in forced sexual exploitation globally. There are approximately 1,400 cases of trafficking in hotels and motels, and approximately 1,800 of those victims and survivors were identified. There are several indicators of human trafficking inside motels or hotels. Some of them are That individuals show signs of malnutrition, poor hygiene, fatigue, sleep deprivation, untreated illnesses, injuries, and or unusual behavior. Individuals also lack freedom of movement and are constantly monitored. Some of them have no control over or possession of money or ID. Many times they dress inappropriately for their age or have a lower quality clothing compared to the others in the party. Many times they request room or housekeeping services but denies hotel or motel staff an entry to the room. They also have extended stay with few or no personal possessions, or the room may be rented hourly or less than a day. And usually terms that do not appear normal. Another sign is that individuals usually ask staff or other hotel members for food or money behind the trafficker's back. There are many ways to prevent human trafficking in the hotel and motel business. Knowing the signs of human trafficking, designing a plan of action to respond to reports of human trafficking in hotels businesses, partnering with agencies that provide services to victims of human trafficking. Immediate housing for victims plays a vital role in beginning a victim's healing process, and providing all employees with training to help them understand and even identify the signs of human trafficking within hotels.
Thank you for your attention, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation.